While I was at TJ, I probably experienced all forms of imposter syndrome.
I identify as a perfectionist.
The natural genius.
Specifically, natural genius and perfectionist.
I identify with the natural genius category of imposter syndrome.
I was what you might call a perfectionist superwoman.
When I was met with failure and less than ideal grades, it really took a toll on me mentally because I was like, wait, maybe I'm not that smart.
I felt like there was this perception hanging over us as Black students that, we weren't as good, or we weren't as motivated, or we were lazy, not as smart. And so I definitely had to battle my own internal perception of how other people were looking at me.
I had a really hard time asking for help, whether it was with schoolwork or with personal matters. I didn't ask for help because I felt like that by asking for help, I'd somehow failed. I didn't want to feel like the only one incapable of juggling all those balls in the air. So I felt like I had to hide my perceived inabilities to handle things on my own.
While I was just trying to stay afloat, I looked around at my classmates, and it seemed like everyone was swimming a mile away at full speed, and it felt like I was unable to catch up. Everyone seemed so smart and accomplished in their classes. They seemed to be involved in over 15 different clubs, having good work-life balance, and honestly, that wasn't me.
And all my classmates either seemed to be naturally better than me, or they just worked way harder than me at everything. And so I tried really hard, and I still didn't get straight A's, or come up with the most brilliant research project, or get the best 2K time on the crew team. I constantly measured myself against others, and I thought, I'm not enough.
Prior to entering TJ, I was consistently like the top student in my class, not really challenged by my schoolwork, and so TJ was like a very nasty wake-up call for me.
I started taking a lot of classes that were really difficult for me and I had no interest in, but I decided that that was what I was going to do, and I started joining a lot of clubs that I just didn't have the time to invest in, and I just wasn't interested in either, and that really had a lot of negative impacts on my mental health.
If I didn't have anything to offer, if I didn't understand something, or if I did poorly, then I wasn't worth anything. And so, of course, I ran up against some concepts that I just couldn't wrap my head around, and I didn't do as well once senioritis hit in. And so I viewed this as a point of shame, and I wouldn't ask for help.
I often missed out on learning opportunities because I felt like I was afraid to speak up, get the answer wrong, kind of look dumb in front of my friends or just in front of classmates, because I felt like it was against the perception that I felt I'd built up to that point as a smart kid.
You might not always believe that you are good enough, smart enough, expert enough, but listen to people when they tell you that you are. It's hard. You have to train yourself to believe them.
An unexpected outcome of me opening up to others was that it actually made others feel comfortable opening up to me. And it turns out everyone needs a little help at some point. We just need to start by letting someone know.
You need to be seen in your friendships. You need to feel valid for you to understand that you are more than just what your grades say and what these measures of success that everyone else goes by say.
We all want the approval and admiration of others, but trying to feel good about ourselves through work and school and achievements alone is a pretty small view of our lives. It's a poor substitute for the joy of genuinely relating and supporting one another.
Really trust in others. If you find yourself micromanaging people, give them a shot, give them a chance. A lot of times they will surprise you. People have great ideas. You're not always right.
We often feel like we need to have ourselves figured out completely in order to understand our worth. And the thing that I've learned is that that's just not realistic. So if somebody tells you that you're good at something, believe them and know that somebody sees something in you that can push you forward to do something really awesome.
My self-worth and intelligence are not determined by the visible success of others. I had to learn, and sometimes I'm still learning, how my individual brain works, what habits work for me, rather than trying to compare myself to others and what they're doing or what I think that they're doing.
Our definition of smart at TJ is so narrow within our four walls, and it kind of is specific to primarily grades and things like that. When you realize in college, everyone's smart in a different way. And how they define smart is finding something you're passionate in and being good at that.
And anytime you feel like you don't deserve something, remember that you do. Because studying all of those hours for that test that you may or may not have aced isn't a mark of your intelligence. That effort is a mark of your grit and your determination, and that's going to be the thing that takes you the furthest in life.
Keep chugging along, you guys. You're doing awesome. This is an insane year, and it's not easy being in high school during it. It's not easy being in any phase in life during it, but you guys are doing great. Congratulate yourselves just for getting out of bed. logging onto the computer.